Hello everyone, my name is Will Brooks and my mission is to make coding fun and easy to learn. In today's video, we will learn how to make a very basic navigation bar using HTML and CSS. Let's get to coding. Okay, just to let you know, I'm using Replit as my text editor here. And we're going to go right into the body here, and we're actually going to start by adding the content to our navigation bar. It's going to be very simple. We're going to have a home link, about link, and then we'll have a logo, which will just basically be my name. So we'll start with an anchor tag, and we're going to call that link index.html. That'll be our link. And then we're going to close that, and then we're going to call that home. And then we'll have an about one as well, and we're going to do another tag there as well. We're going to call that about.html, and then let's close that here, and then we're going to call that about. And then we're going to have one more piece of content, and that's going to be our logo. I'm going to put that in a div tag. And that's just going to be my name for now, just for this video. And it's going to be Will Brooks. And then that's closed there. So there we go. We've got content, home, about Will Brooks. Let's run this. And there we go. Home, about Will Brooks. Now, we're going to do a lot more with this, but this is just our bare bones right now. Okay, now that we have the content here, we're going to add some divs in here so that we can style it on our external style sheet, which is right here. So we're going to start out with a div, and we're going to make a class, and we're going to call that our Nav Wrapper. And I'll explain in a second what that is going to do. Okay, so we need to put this end div tag down at the bottom here by line 18. And let's just close that, div. Okay, good. So let me just bring this out so we can keep it even up. Okay, there. So basically what this is doing is we're wrapping all the content in a div tag. There's the beginning at line 10 and then 18. And we're saying it's going to go to, the name is Nav-Wrapper, and we're going to put that in our external style sheet afterward. So we can style that whole group. Next, we want to just style the home and about. So we're going to put that in a wrapper, just the left side of here. So we're going to do another div. And we're going to call, let's see, class. And we're going to call that nav. And we're going to call that left because it's on the left side. And then let's close that underneath the about, which is right here. Let's close that and bring it back here. Okay, and div. Good. So now we wrapped right here just the home and about link in this div right here, this div class here from line 11 to line 17. Okay, and the last thing we want to do, we just want to put individual div tags on the home and then the about. So we're going to wrap them separately. So we need another div and class to name it, and we're going to call this nav-link. And then let's close that, and let's bring that down. And we're going to bring this down to line 15 here. Close that. Good. And then let's do one more. Let's just copy this nav link. Let's copy this, and then bring it down to the about page here. And then let's just paste that. Good. Because we're going to use the same exact one there. And then let us just close that. And then bring it back, and then I'll show you what we just did there. Good. So now what we did was we made a div wrap around the home button, the home link rather, and the about link right here. So now that we have that, we're going to start with at the top the nav wrapper, meaning the whole content. We're going to style that next and make it pretty as we can right now. Then we're going to go and do just the home and about. And then we're going to just take the home and about separately. So we're going to go into our external style sheet next. Okay, I just ran it, and this is what it looks like now. It's all lined up on top of each other. But we want the home and about right next to each other on the left side. And we want Will Brooks, which is our logo, all the way on the right. We want to add a background and a border here as well on this navigation bar. So we're going to start with the div wrapper, the nav wrapper. Then we're going to go nav left, and then we're going to go with the nav link. Okay, so we're going to go to our external style sheet here, and we're going to start at the top, and we're going to do dot nav dash wrapper. That's how you do that in HTML. Then you do curly brackets and then space, and we're going to call this display, and then we're going to do flex. What display flex does in the nav wrapper, it's going to move Will Brooks all the way to the right, at least to the right of home. So let's take a look at that. Now you see Will Brooks moved to the right there, that our so-called logo. So what it does is, if I go back to the index page, we call it the nav wrapper is on line 10 here. It goes to the next div right here. So it's taking the nav left, and then it goes down to Will, and it'll adjust that second one here. Okay, so let's go back to our style sheet, and we want to do some more things in the nav wrapper here. We want to justify content, and we want to do space, it's called space between, because we want Will Brooks to go all the way to the right. So let's take a look. Let's run this. Notice how Will Brooks, the logo goes all the way to the right when you do justify content and space between. Okay, let's return this, and then let's add, you notice how it's kind of close to the sides there. We're going to add a little padding there, and let's add 30 pixels. Let's run that and see what it looks like. 30 pixels all around. It pushes everything down and to the right and to the left a bit. Good. And then next we're going to do a border bottom, because we want a border bottom to our nav bar. And we're going to say it's 1 pixel. 1 pixel is going to be solid, and we're going to say it's going to be black colored. So let's see what that looks like. Boom. Okay, right there. We're getting there. And then we want to do a background color. And our background color, we're going to just do light blue for now. You can do any color you'd like. Oop, background clip, no, background color. Okay, background color. And let's click here, and let's take a light. There it is, light blue. Perfect. As you can see, there's space, white space here around the left side, right side, and all around the border here. That's because text editors and browsers come with some padding and margins. So what we want to do is we want to set that back to 0. So we're going to go and let's do our star right here, which calls everything. It'll change everything on the pages. And then we're going to set the margin to 0. And then we're going to set the padding to 0. And then you'll see if I click here, it's gone. It fills up the whole top of the page. And what I want to do, I want to do one more thing. The font family, I want to change that to Arial. Just thinks it looks a little bit better. There. Okay, great. So we have that right now. Okay, now that we finished that, we did our nav wrapper. Now we're going to go into nav left. Remember, that's the next thing on our list. So it's dot nav dash left. And then we do our curly bracket and space. And we're just going to do one thing here. We're going to do display, and we're going to do flex again like we did before. And remember, that's going to take our about and move it this way. So let's run that. Okay, great. And that's exactly what we wanted to do. Okay, now we are going to go to our nav link now. Okay, so we're going to dot nav dash link, and we're going to fix that up a little bit. And then space here. And we want to create a bit of a margin here. You notice how home and about are connected together there. So we want a margin, and we want to do, let's say, actually we want to do margin right. Margin right, and then let's do 20 pixels. And let's run that and see what it looks like. Great, it separates that. Now, it looks like the font is a little bit bigger there, so we're going to just decrease the home and about font size a little bit. So we're going to do font, and then let's grab size. And we're going to do 0.9M. Okay, and let's run that and see what it looks like. Great, it looks like the same size. Now, M equals actually 1. If we go here and we type in 1M, that's the same size as the font. So if you type in 2M, that's going to be double the size that we have there. So let's do 2M and take a look at that. It's going to be double the size. See how big that is? We don't want it that big. If I did 1, it would be the normal size. So I'm going to do 0.9, which would be 90% the size of the font. So it's almost the same size as 1. But we want it just like that. Perfect. Okay, that's good. Now, we want to go to the .nav link and then A for the anchor tag, and we're going to style that. And we want to get rid of the lines underneath home and about. So in that case, we need text decoration, and then we're going to say none because we want to get rid of the underline there. So if we run this, the text, see the lines are gone. Perfect. That's exactly what we want to do. Now, I just want to change that. I want to change that color to blue. So if we go color and we change it to actually red, change the blue to red, and then let's go there, and great, it's red. The last thing I want to do is create a hover button. So when we hover over here, it will change color so you can see that it does something. So in order to do that, we need to go to .nav-link again, A, and then colon hover, space, and then we're going to do curly bracket. So we got that A colon hover, and then we're going to change that color to, let's change it to green. How about green? And let's see, GREN, and let's see what that looks like. Let's run that. And over here, notice how that changes to green? Perfect. And it changes to green right there. Okay, well, there's your basic navigation bar. I just wanted to show you a little bit of what it can do. There's other ways to create the navigation bars, obviously, and you can get a lot more fancy than this. This is just generic. And consider Will Brooks over here as a logo. That would be the logo. Well, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate that. And if you have any comments, please leave them in the space below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will be coming up with more short videos like these. Thank you so much.